Hello and welcome to the Black Countryman, the first episode where I'm going to be doing a gun restoration. What is going to be this first gun that was handed to me by my father-in-law to be. It is a old side-by-side, non-ejector. It is a Belgium-made gun, and it's old. I think I got it dated, or I found the proof marks, and it is dated to around 1890 something to the early 1900s, and I believe that the barrels have been reproofed to take sort of like nitro proof barrels. Yeah, this was my first gun, and we're going to be restoring the stock on this. As you can see, I'll do a bit of close-up for you, but as you can see, it's not the greatest piece of wood, and it is definitely damaged. And then also what we're going to be doing as well is we're also going to be working on the barrel of this gun. So this is going to be a complete restoration of getting this gun that is, I've seen online at less than £30, and we're going to try and make something of it. It holds something to me because it was the first gun that I got. So yeah, we're going to today hopefully get the butt pad off. We're going to take the action away from the wood, from the stock, and then we can start looking at what needs to be done and basically get to work. So as you can see, the gun is in pretty bad condition. So first things first, I'm actually going to take barrels off the action altogether. And as you can see, this is, I have cleaned it, it's got oil all over it. But as you can see, it's a side by side. Oh, it's a side by side. Non-ejector. Wood is in horrific condition. Even showing you the other side, there are some deep scratches and dents on there. And like that, it's not the greatest piece of wood, but this is something that definitely means a lot to me. So we're going to definitely work on it. So butt pad is completely cracked. So we're gonna first of all, we're gonna start by taking this out. And then we need to look at what is going to be needed. This gun is very short. It's like a 14-inch stock with 26-inch barrels. So it's very short for me, being at 6'3". But that is the pad off. And as you can see, lots of oil over the years has soaked into this stock. That is the stock. The butt pad is off, and I think we're going to look at trying to taking this piece off here, because I believe that that is what holds this whole action into place. So we've now got a screwdriver that's a flat head to try take these screws out. So this is almost like a how-to as well with anybody that has an old gun, how we get this back to life. So I believe that these probably haven't been undone since the moment that it was made, or the last time that it had some maintenance done on it. And I definitely haven't done that, so let's see. So there is now a screw underneath. Oh, you can see that is completely rusted underneath there, all very rusted. But there is now a screw that's visible. for us to get to. So let's get that undone as well. See, that just seems to be spinning in there now. There's a screw here. Frustratingly, I don't know if we're going to have to just do all of this with the action on, because there is a screw at the bottom here that correlates to this, and it's just spinning at the minute. So we've taken off this guardrail altogether. However, this screw here, it's loose. It tightens into this top bit here, and it goes clearly all the way through the wood here. But it gets to a point and then it just spins. So I think we're going to have to just work with what we've got at the minute, and we can mask and tape up the wood, the metal, when we get to the sanding. What we're literally going to probably start in a minute. So hopefully, as you can see, the checkering has completely worn from this side. It's as smooth as a baby's bottom, and then on this side there is still some of the original checkering. I think just for the sake of this we might just take out the checkering altogether, but we'll see what we can do. It might just be that we don't checker this at all, we just take the checkering out and have it as a smooth piece of wood. But how we sand, so if I pop this here for you, we have some wire wool to take off the original varnish. Some people like to dip it in some like solution and it strips everything. I don't like doing that. Putting extra chemicals onto the wood and drying it all out is not something that I want to do. So wire wool it's as simple as getting quite a tough grit wire wool like this one, and just working away. As you can see straight away, it starts to scratch the wood, but that is it taking away the very first layer of the varnish. So I'm going to crack on with this and you'll see what it looks like once I'm finished. So I've now got it in my clamp, and basically what we're trying to do with this wire wool in this first instant is also take out any major dents that there is. So that just means going over some bits and stripping it right back, trying to make it as smooth as possible, so that when we apply I haven't decided what I want to apply yet, but once we apply what we want to apply, whether that's some varnish, some beeswax or something like that, it will easily and better absorb it. So make sure that you try and get all of the scratches out while not trying to go too deep at the same time. But as you can see, that is starting to take off the varnish or the oil that was on here before. So as you can see, just after 15 minutes of wire wooling, we have managed to change the colour drastically. So this is the after and this is the before. So you can see how much we've taken off, especially on this end here, look, how much colour we've taken off and all of that old varnish that we have taken off. really impressed with what we've managed to do in just 15 minutes. So yeah, we'll carry on and we'll see what we can do. So after fiddling about, I've now managed to get the action completely out with the trigger and the firing pins. So yeah, happy days. Very happy days. Good evening, we're back out in the shed after I finished work. So just to give you a bit of an update, what I managed to get off camera was I've managed to get the stock completely away from the action. As you can see in there, there's lots of oil. In there, there's lots of rust. And also in there, there's lots of rust. As you can see, there's some deep scratches. But on this side, we have now started to wire wool. So you can see the massive difference in colour between the two bits of stock. Obviously, there is massive amounts of work to continue with this, but we have managed to make some massive headways with getting the whole action off. It means that I can definitely tidy up the wood a lot better than what I would have done originally. So we've now got the barrels completely obviously by themselves. This is gonna be blued. So I'm going to completely polish this off, and then we're going to cold blue it. If that goes wrong, we'll just polish it right down again. But we're going to polish this down, and then we're going to blue it because it looks like it's been blued previously. So we want to basically just blue it so it goes back to the original colour. We then have the forearm, whatever you want to call it. I haven't started work on this yet. That'll be, hopefully we can get onto that bit tonight. But the thing that is slightly concerning is we have now got the action all together like so. As you can see, massive amounts of rust all the way through, and the same on the other side. I've spoken to my friend Aaron. I'll put his Instagram down below, and he has told me to oil, soften up the rust, and then softly wire wool the areas to try and polish them up. My main goal at the minute is to get the stock down to a point where we can start staining, oiling, whatever we decide to do. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put this action in a tub of oil, some lubrication. No rust remover or anything like that. We're just going to put it in some oil, and we're just going to soften up that rust so that hopefully later tonight, when we get on to the next part, we can look at getting this slightly more polished up. But I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to carry on with this stock. So, after wire wooling, we have really made some good progress on this stock here. We have got a slight issue on, are you going to focus, camera? Where the engraving, the checkering on this is completely smooth before I even did anything. And then we've also got the same issue on this side where it has got some checkering. So I'm going to make a phone call to my friend and see what he thinks. But I'm quite happy now with how that sort of turned out. We're now using a slightly finer bit of wire wool just to get the last bits of scratches out, just to make it really smooth. But really impressed with what we've managed to do in a short space of time. Now that's got all the debris out of there. Now that I'm fairly happy that both sides of the checkering is now gone, as you can now see here and here, all the checkering is now gone. So this is ready to be oiled, pad extender, recoil pad, oiled. I don't know what order you do that, so I'm gonna have to research. But this is now ready. So I'm gonna put this to one side. And there's one more piece of woodwork that we need to do. What is the fore-end forearm? So we need to unscrew this bad boy and see what we can do. So let's get it. So just zoom you in ever so slightly. So there's two screws. There's two screws there, and there. There's two screws. So I'm hoping that by undoing both of these, this will remove the wood away from the metalwork. So let's get that undone. So you can probably see that underneath here it is actually, so as you can see on this fore end, it's actually case colour hardened probably back in the day. So that just slides back on there, slash that slides back on there. But let's take this metalwork away. As you can see, major rusting. Take that screwdriver away. Major rusting underneath there, and all of this spring is all covered in rust. So also gonna dunk this under some oil and let that soak. So we've got this piece of wood. I'm gonna wirewall this right down so that we can get rid of all that stain. And I'm gonna do the same as what I've done with the other piece, where it's completely removed the checkering, as it's smooth in some places and got checker in others. So I'm just gonna completely get rid of the checkering. So another 10 minutes have gone, 15 minutes have gone, and we have now got the fore end completely done as well. So that has got rid of all of the checkering and also got rid of all of the sort of grime. I'm also now just gonna blow this off as well. So that's got all of the debris off of that, and now the fore end is completely done. So that is the woodwork done for now.